All right. Speaking of, hello, Doc, alcoholic addict, amongst other things.
Hey, Doc.
What's up? And welcome to another fantastic edition of Sober School. Today we're going to be talking a little bit, probably a short one, but I wanted to talk a little bit about growth. So I been here, it would be a year and a half on the 27th.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah. And like, you got to ask yourself, like, why would why would any sane person stay in a halfway house longer than they needed to? You know, because I was sentenced by the judge to complete this program, which is a 9-month program. Go charging.
Yeah.
It was a 9-month program, and I did that. Not only did I complete the program, I even took over running the house for a while, which is yes. Ask anybody who's been in that position. It is a huge pain in the ass. And none of that, and still stuck around and teach classes, do maintenance, what have you. Why would any sane person do that? Well, your first mistake is assuming that I'm sane. But the real answer is growth. All right. Who is super excited? Not that they have a place to stay. Who's super excited that they're here, living in a halfway house? You're
Liar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Better than the streets, motherfuckers.
this is true,
Or jail.
but or jail. It's better than a lot of places,
Yeah.
quite honestly.
I
I didn't ask if you were glad you had some place better than the bad places.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. All right. Yeah. Well,
I want to rephrase on the question, please.
all right. Well, what's really important, I did a meme. I was gonna print it out. I did it months ago and stuff. And it's a picture of a little flower growing up out of concrete, like a crack in the concrete. And it says, it doesn't matter where you're at. What matters is you grow where you're planted. All right. I've seen a lot of people. Let's say we're gonna stick with the whole plant parallel for a moment. Transplant themselves elsewhere. They're here, they're growing, and they transplant themselves someplace else and leave before they've completed the program. And I'm not really aware of too many times that ended up well. It does say it can't, but I would really thinking about it, out of all the people who left here before they completed the program, I know of maybe one or two that didn't end up going at least partially bad, if not all the way bad. And out of those two, they're both on the bracelet, and so they got a little bit of help. If they weren't on the bracelet and they left here early, would they still be doing good? Who can say? But I just know, historically, from what I've seen, people who leave before they're ready typically aren't ready to leave. There's definitely something to be said for it. I don't know if anybody has grow weed. Anybody had experience with horticulture? If you transplant if you repot something from like one pot to another pot, if you do it too early, it can go all the way bad. Plant can end up dying. And even if you do it at the appropriate time, statistically speaking, there's a higher risk when you transplant something from a smaller pot to a bigger pot. Shock can set in. There could be pathogens. Could be something unhealthy going on in that other pot that can lead to the plant's demise. And everybody wants to. Everybody wants a bigger pot. Everybody wants more room to like stretch out and grow, and I totally respect that. You can run into the same thing like, well, yeah, that's super cool. But like a goldfish, a goldfish will have a little bowl. It's gonna stay small. You put it in a bigger tank, oftentimes it'll grow bigger. But if you take a little tiny baby goldfish and you put it in a big tank, probably not going to go well and probably get maybe eaten by a bigger fish because it's not ready to move on. When it is time, the time when it's time to leave the lighthouse, you will know it's time to leave the lighthouse. You won't be like, man, I got this. I should be all right. I think I can handle it. You won't think you can handle it. You'll know. Like when I was in prison, like I was sentenced to do like I got 5 years for less than a quarter gram. But it was like the judge said, don't panic. I'm giving you 5 years. But it's purposeful incarceration. If you complete this program, you complete RWI, modify you right out. I'm like, okay. Like, I was still freaking the fuck out, quite honestly. But at least that's something I could do. And because of the whole Delta changeover, got stuck in county for another 4 months, and then spent 2 months in RDC, and finally got to prison, got into RWI, and was told that the program was being canceled indefinitely because the director of the facility didn't have their certification. So I did 2 years waiting to do a 90-day program. Was not a fan. I really wanted to move on to a bigger pot. Like, I did not want to, I was ready to leave prison before I ever got to prison. However, I was in prison. There wasn't a program, the program I was supposed to do was not available. So what I focused on is growing where I was planted. Hit the gym about 6 days a week, 3 days on, 1 day off. That's what I did while I was locked up. And got healthy again because I was really sickly a few years back. And I put some weight back on, but then I was just like doughy and soft. So, all right, I'm stuck here. They got a gym. I'm going to focus on getting healthier. They got meetings. Okay, I'm going to be at that meeting every day. They got classes you can take, certifications. Took all of them. They had encyclopedias. I read both sets of encyclopedias. Like, I did everything, and ultimately ended up taking over teaching the classes. Because I was the one person who had taken them all. And I like teaching. But basically what I was doing, well, I'm here. I'm in this pot. I'm going to grow as much as I can in this pot. And after I'd accomplished everything, got really good at horseshoes.
Nice.
Was up to 227. I could put up the whole stack. I could put up 325 times. Like in the other stuff, I was either maxing out or I got a bad rotator cuff. I couldn't do any more weight because I'd end up damaging myself. So I pretty much, man.
What was your squat?
In the bucket.
What?
In the bucket.
Well, like they just had cable and plate machines, and I was maxing it out on squat. Like so, I literally grown all I could there. So I write my judge. I'm like, hey, I've grown all I can here. I've done everything that is available here to better myself. I've gotten acceptance to this place called the Lighthouse. Is there any way you could modify my sentence to something that I can actually do to continue to grow? He granted that, and that's how I wound up at the Lighthouse. And because I'd outgrown that pot, I couldn't. Literally, like the caseworkers would like call me up with weird questions because they don't have cell phone service and stuff. Like COs would come to my bed. In the DOC, they call me Google because I know some things. But I would literally, I've gotten woke up by COs before because, hey, how do you convert this into that? Or what's the capital of Vermont? It's Montpelier. But like, so like, man, I'd literally like expanded myself as much as I could there. And so I moved on to a bigger pot, being the Lighthouse. And while I did complete the Lighthouse program and go above and beyond, the reason I'm still here, like I work for a property management company. Like I get a really nice house, half rent. I could go live at one of our properties and literally get paid to live there. So it's like I'm not staying here for like discounted rent. I'm staying here because being here allows me to continue growing. Like helping you guys helps me. And I really encourage you. There's a couple people in this room who have had opportunities to go elsewhere, to go to a bigger pot. But they did the big boy thing and like, man, I want to finish this. I still got room to grow here. And that is commendable. At some point, if you do all the things here, if you complete anger management and inner void and taking the high road, and you work through all 12 steps, and if you can't grow anymore here, 100%, I'll help you fucking move. Because if you can't grow, life is about growth. The only constant, like no man can walk through the same stream twice. The only constant is change. If you're not actively getting better, you're actively getting worse. So if you can't grow, if you've got no more growing you can do here, I will 100% help you move and encourage you to do so. Because I want to see each and every one of you grow. I want to see you guys be everything you can be and more. Like your wildest dreams. You guys have no idea what you can accomplish and where you can go in life by just following a few simple rules, learning something from this system. Because not using drugs and alcohol to escape is fucking awesome. That's great. You know what's even better than that? Having a life you don't want to fucking escape from. That's fucking huge. Like, come for the recovery. Stay for the life worth living. Because it's really freaking sweet. And there's something to be said for like growth. And when it's time to transplant, I'm going to stick with plants for a minute. I'm from out west in Arizona with the 5 C's. Cotton, cattle, copper, commerce, and citrus. Those are the 5 C's.
Right.
That's the 6th C. Absolutely. That's only Central Phoenix though. But so there's a lot of citrus out there. There used to like most of like Scottsdale used to be all citrus groves and stuff. But all those citrus trees are actually. The tree itself is transplanted from Florida, but they have to graft it to a root base that's compatible with the soil in Arizona. Otherwise, it'll die. If you just take a citrus tree from Florida, transplant it to Arizona, it will die without that pre-existing network. That base is what allows it to grow there. And this we've got a network here. Does anybody know about mycelium? It's basically it's basically fungal in nature, but trees. When you've got a grove of trees, they actually the root structure is connected via mycelium. It's a symbiotic relationship. Basically, these little it's a vegetative body of fungus that actually connect the roots. So if this tree isn't getting enough sunlight, it's not photosynthesizing enough, the trees around it will actually send it sugar, send it water via the mycelium. It's like a tree internet. It's like Facebook for trees. But the trees have each other's back. So everybody can grow. So even if one tree is doing good, it can help those around it who aren't doing as good. And if one tree needs help, trees will actually help each other via this network. And that's the sort of situation where we're a grove of trees. Some of us saplings, some of us oaks. But like, we're all here to help each other and grow. And it like, if you like transplant a tree, even a healthy tree, if it doesn't have enough of that that network, that base, and you move it to a new area and stuff, it will die because you took it away from its network. Like, you disconnected its tree internet. It no longer has the fellowship of other trees to keep it healthy if it's having a hard time. To make sure it stays well. And also, depending on where it goes, maybe there's more sunlight and better water. But there could also be other stuff that foreign mycelium or Dutch elm disease or any number of things that could ultimately kill that tree because it moved either before it was ready or it moved it too far away from its network or didn't have enough of a network where it got moved to, and the tree dies. And it's so important to have a foundation, to have a network. And this program, it's not, there's good times to be had, absolutely. But there's also a bunch of bullshit you have to do. And I don't know if you're any of you, I had growing pains really bad when I was a kid. Sometimes growing hurts. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable and painful. I'm truly glad I grew up big and strong, but getting here, a lot of it fucking sucked. But it's something I had to go through. Like, you had to go through the growing pains to grow up big and strong. And oh, what else? All right, so, and I want to see all you guys grow up big and strong. So, like, man, if ever a time comes where you can't grow anymore here, it's absolutely 100% time to leave here. But until such a time, if you haven't completed this program, if you haven't worked all your 12 steps, if you haven't done everything you can do here, it's probably not time to leave yet. There's the remnants of a sticker on my giant mug that I look at every day. And it says, or it used to say, you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. And I make it a point. That's one of the ones, like, I like seeing that every day. I like that reminder every day. Because sometimes it's hard. But the end goal is very, very worth it. basically, I told you guys I'd keep it brief because we got a couple other things to handle. But I'm gonna leave you with a couple little quips. All right, so it's a joke. All right, so there's two cows, and they're up on a hill, and they're looking down at the flock of other cows, and the herd. Thank you. What would I do without you?
Flock of sheep, herd of
Yeah.
goats.
Flock of seagulls.
Yes. Pot of whales, murder of crows, etc., etc. All right, so there's two bulls up on this hill looking down at the herd of cows below. And one bull says to the other bull, "Hey, let's run down there so we can fuck some of them cows."
Hell yeah.
And the other bull says,
Hell yeah, brother.
"How about we walk down there and fuck them all?" All right, that's the joke one. The real one, sorry, I like bad jokes. All right, so the real one. All right, so there's two lumberjacks. One's a young buck, and one's an old school cat. And the young buck lumberjack, every day, he takes a 15-minute lunch and gets right back to cutting. And the older lumberjack, he takes an hour lunch, and he cuts twice as much wood as the first guy. And the young lumberjack is like, "Hey, how come you always cut more wood than I do? When I take a 15-minute lunch and you take an hour lunch?" And the older lumberjack says, "Well, that's easy. I spend that hour lunch sharpening my axe." And that's what this is all about. Making sure your axe is fucking sharp. Making sure you can maximize what you can accomplish. This is all about giving you the tools you need to succeed. Because hey man, you may be able to leave here and make it and do all right, but do you really want to take that chance with your life? Do you really like, okay, I should be all right. I think I got this. What if you don't? And then you end up messing up. And you wind up right back where you started, starting all over again. Because you left before you were ready.
If you mess it up, it just means you didn't want it enough.
Well, you like one that. Well, if you want it's great. I know plenty of people suffering from addiction who want to not be addicted super, super bad. They want it real, real bad. But they don't know how to get out. They're trapped in that vicious cycle of addiction, and they don't have a system. Like, if you're not willing to work the system to get you where you need to be so you know you're going to be all right, that means you didn't want it enough. If you wanted it enough, you'd be willing to do whatever it took by any means necessary, because we got fucked up by any means necessary. 100%. Like, if we needed a bottle or a bag, we were going to make that shit happen. And maybe not as fast as we wanted. Maybe we passed out for a minute, got back up. But when we got back up, we went back at it, hit it hard, and we made it happen. And that's why we're here. We got messed up by any means necessary. And if we want to stay clean, we owe it to ourselves to stay clean the same way, by any means necessary, no matter what. Stack the fucking deck in your favor for a change on you succeeding. Do everything you can to grow while you're here. And when you've done that, if you can't grow, if there's nothing left you can do, if you can't do anything more to grow here, then it is time to leave. 100%. I'll help you fucking move. But until that time, Remember, it does not matter at all where you're at. What matters is that you grow where you're planted. But that's all I got as far as class goes.
I ain't got.